Hello and welcome to Handmade Originals. I'm slouching like this so that I can get this countertop and me in the photo frame. 2 years ago, seems such a long time, I made a video on how to cut a laminate top cleanly, i.e. without chipping the laminate, and I've had a huge number of people respond to that video. Thank you very much. And if anyone's raised a query, usually I've dealt with it on a one-to-one basis, just replying to their comments. But last week, someone made a comment about, actually asking a question, and I thought rather than deal with it on a one-to-one, it's actually something which I think might affect quite a few people. So this video is about that problem. And the problem is, what if you are cutting just a slither of the edge of your laminate top and your jigsaw, I have my jigsaw here not plugged in, will only take you that far. So you have the distance between the blade and the front of the protective bracket where you just can't get the blade in. So how do you cut that last little bit? Well, I'm glad you asked, Tony, and this is my solution. In fact, I've got two solutions. As I don't have exactly your scenario, I've done a sort of mock-up here, which is held together, as you can see, with a nail brush. But basically, this is an extra piece of wood, which I've sellotaped at one end here to indicate where it's still joined. And this is the bit that we've already cut with the jigsaw to there. And what we're trying to do is work out how to cut that bit. Well, first of all, I would deal with the laminate bit on the top, and I would just use a sharp razor or a sharp knife to just cut that bit there, or at the very least score it, so that whatever we do subsequently hopefully doesn't damage that bit. And also you might even like to consider taping that down. Right, so what you do next is this. Strike a couple of matches. Fire. Blow them out. Right, don't put them straight there because they'll melt the laminate. Right, that's not going to burn anything. Right, stick them in here. One there. And one there. And tape the waggly end. Like that. Why am I doing that? I can put two in here. I'm doing that because I'm going to use a blade to cut this bit here, and the blade needs to have a gap so that it can move forwards. If you don't, you have two problems. Firstly is that this will waggle about and could snap like that, and you'll just end up with a very jagged break here, which could also crack the laminate, lift it. And secondly, if you don't have a gap, you can trap your blade, so it's actually very difficult to cut that bit. So the question then remains, which blade are we going to use? Initially, I thought I could just get a blade like this from a hacksaw. I could slot that in like that, and I could like that and go all the way along to the edge. But that's actually quite tricky. And then I thought, actually, the better way to do it is to get a handsaw like this. And the particular thing about this handsaw is that so this is the cutting edge here, and that's the handle, obviously. And I can demonstrate with this saw, which is not the right saw, but just the set of the handle is the same as the picture I was just showing you, so that you can cut like this all the way along. And let me just turn the camera a little bit. When you get to the wall, the handle is not in the way of the blade, so you can literally make a nice vertical cut. You might end up with a little scratch on your wall, which you'll have to sort out, but you should end up with a nice straight cut, and it will be, obviously that's the outside, it will be here like this. This is no good because it has this thicker part to the blade on the top, which is why the ordinary handsaw is so much better because that's the same thickness all the way through, which is actually quite thin. The only thing I would say about this saw is you don't need a great big one. Get one that cuts on the push stroke, which most Western saws do. And I've learned more than I ever wanted to know about saws. To get a fine cut, you want a large number of teeth per inch, which is shortened to TPI. So look at the TPI of your particular saw, and if it says fine saw, then generally it's good for fine cutting. But I will link to a YouTube video below where someone who knows a lot more about saws than me has actually done a whole article about which saw to go for. But that's the sort of shape that you should be looking for, where you don't have a ridge on the top of the blade. It's a thin blade, as many teeth as you can find, and a handle that lifts out of the way so that you can either cut like that, or you can move your hand around this way. And I know it's sort of cutting it upside down, but you can go along like that, like this. And get to the very end, and then ta-da! There's your piece. Anyway, I hope that provides some sort of answer for you, or two suggestions as to how to do it. Anyway, so if anyone has a smarter idea which they think will work better, obviously feel free to make a comment below. And I hope you get your job done, Tony. And I hope this has also helped anybody else that has a similar problem. And I hope your oven fits, because that's what you were trying to fit in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Yay, thumbs up. And I shall be back soon. Now go out and enjoy the sunshine.